Hey guys, welcome back again. So in the previous video, we added Google Maps to our application and we added this marker at the Taj Mahal in India. So in this video, let's work with the geocoder. That is, I want to add a marker. So let's add a marker in London. So how do we get the longitude and latitude of that place? So it is very simple to do. So firstly, inside our maps activity, what I'll do here at the very top, I'll create my geocoder. So let's create that geocoder. So private geocoder, and this would be called geocoder, and we'll initialize this geocoder inside the onCreate method. So here I initialize that. So geocoder equal to new geocoder, and here we need to pass in the context. So we can pass in this like this. So now inside the onMapReady callback, because we can only add the marker when the map is ready. So what we can do here, instead of adding this marker at Taj Mahal, let me comment this thing out from here. And now what I'll do, I'll search for a place called London, and we can get the latitude and longitude of that place. So since I have my geocoder initialized inside the onCreate method here, that is this method here, that is this initialization here. So we can use this geocoder to get the location from a location name. As we see that we have this method that is get from location name, and it returns us a list of addresses. So we can provide here a location name that is called London. So that is the city London. And then we need to provide in the second parameter, that is the maximum number of results we want from this geocoder. So for this time I am passing here 1 because I only want one result from this thing here. And this would be a list of addresses like this, and this should be addresses, and this should be equal to this, because this get from location name returns us a list of addresses. Though here we are passing max results to be 1, but here you can pass any number of results you want. And now it says that we can use this geocoder only in the try and catch block. So let's surround this with try and catch like this. And now inside this addresses, we can get the first address from this list of addresses. So address equal to addresses dot get at index 0, because we have only provided max results to be 1. Therefore, there is an item, that is there is an address at index 0. And now from that address, we can get the latitude and longitude of this location name, if this location exists. So now let me log it inside the console. So log t, and here we can simply put a toString method to this address here. So toString like this, and let's simply run our application before adding in the marker, and let's open our logcat here, and let's also open the emulator. So we see that this map is ready, and now inside the logcat we can see that we are getting this address here, that is this address, and we see that we have a locality called London, and then we have the latitude, and then we also have the longitude like this. So let's use this latitude and longitude to put a marker at this position, and let's also move my camera to that position. So let me remove this log statement from here, and let me increase the font size. So now to create marker options, what all things we need? So marker options equal to new marker options dot position, and the position is a lat long. So we can create a new lat long from this address. So new lat long. And here we need to provide in the first parameter, that is the latitude. So we can get the latitude from the address. So address.get latitude. And the second parameter is the longitude. So we can get the longitude from the address.get longitude like this. And now we can set the title on this thing here. So we can get the title from the locality. So address.get title, get locality like this. And now that's all for this. And now what we want to do, we want to add this marker options to our map. So we can simply get a hold of our map, mmap, and this mmap is again this Google map here, that is initialized on MapReady. So mmap.add marker, and here we need to pass in marker options, that are the marker options we just created, and we can simply pass in like this. And now we need to move our camera to that latitude and longitude, that is this new lat long. So what we can do, we can simply say mmap.move camera. So in the previous video, we used animate camera, that animates the camera, but here I'm using move camera, which will not animate the camera, but it will directly focus on the marker which we have here, that is this marker options. So move camera, and we should be using camera update factory dot new lat long zoom, and here we need to provide in the new latitude and longitude. So let's extract this latitude and longitude inside its own variable. So lat long, let's call it London, equal to this thing here, that is new lat long. So let me copy it from here, and this is the new lat long, and inside the position we can simply pass in London here, and now we can pass in the latitude and longitude, that is London here, and then the zoom level. So let's provide in 15 here or 16 here, and now let's run our application, and let's open our application, and let's see if we are able to. So here it's a typo here, so we need to provide a semicolon here. So now let's run our application again, and let's open our application. So now we see that we are in London. As you can see that we are at Trafalgar Square, and these are all the places. And if we click on this marker, we see that we are getting the locality name, that is London, because we have set this title from the address, that is get locality. So this is how you use Geocoder to get a location from a location name. Okay, so now let's get a location that doesn't exist. So let's put a location name, that is abc.xyz, and this location doesn't exist in my knowledge. So let's run this application, and let's see that what is the result we are getting, that what is the address we are getting. So let's run the application, and here we see that the application crashed, and let's open our logcat here, and we see that we are getting index out of bounds exception. So basically this happens because we are getting this address from addresses, that is this list of addresses, but this list of addresses contains 0 items. Therefore, when we are using this addresses.get0, we are getting this exception, that is index out of bounds exception. So how do we handle this? So before accessing the addresses, that addresses.get0, what we need to check, that we need to check whether the length of the addresses is greater than 0. So we can provide a if check here. If addresses.size is greater than 0, then only we want to perform this action, that is we want to get the address and then we want to move the camera. So let's cut this from here, and let's paste it inside the if block here, and now let's run our application, and this time it won't crash, but it also won't show any location because this location doesn't exist. That is, this abc.xyz location doesn't exist. Okay guys, so that's all about this video, and in the next video we'll see that how do we long press on the map to add a marker, and then how do we adjust that marker, that is we can drag that marker and we can drop it on another place, and we can get the address according to that location using the same geocoder. So that's what we'll be doing in the next video. So till then, have a good time and stay safe.